This Untamed build has the most life-stealing any build in Guild Wars 2 can get. Don't believe me? Be sure to watch the whole video to understand that this solo build is the best solo build for Ranger out there. Only rivaled by the Boon Beast guide that I made just a while ago. Be sure to check out in the top right hand corner. But now, without much further ado, let's jump right in. So like I said, this build is primarily focused on life stealing. So how does it do that? So a quick disclaimer before I go into the gear. I noticed that this build might not be most optimized for damage, but this is for all my solo builds true. My solo builds are more about getting the content done that you want to approach solo without any other party members or allies, rather than being the most optimal DPS. So this is about surviving and dealing damage while you survive. And this build does it by using a lot of Diviner's gear on the armor, together with the Rune of the Leadership. You have a lot of boon duration, and the stats you can use mostly as well that you get from the Leadership rune. For Agony infusions, or infusions in general, I would go with full power on everything except on the trinkets. On the trinkets, I would go with precise infusions. We will get to that why in a second. For stats on the trinkets, I would go with Commander. So full Commander gear except on the armor. On the armor, I would go Diviner. So the weapons are also Commander. For weapons, I want to go with Mace and Mace. And on the other hand, one Warhorn. Like I said, all weapons also Commander gear. For sigils, you want to go on the offhands Superior Sigil of Strength, just for getting more might. And on the main hand, which is only your Mace, Superior Sigil of Frailty to get vulnerability stacks up. There's also a second option for the weapons. So Mace is definitely the way to go. But in the offhand, the Warhorn provides you with vulnerability application, which is not that long because you don't have any expertise, and some nice boons. That is true. But if you want to go even more, let's say, melee or Untamed focus, you can go with Hammer. You would go with, of course, the same stats, so Commander, but you would also go with Frailty and Strength, just the same. Hammer provides you with a lot of CC skills, so you can proc your Carnivore trait even more often. And I would say the AoE potential with Hammer is way better. Of course, you also get some nice berry application when you're in the other form, and some nice protection. Yeah, I would say it's more preference, what you like to go for. Both have their value. Like I said, the vulnerability application, the Warhound, is quite nice, because this build struggles a bit with upkeeping 100% vulnerability permanently. But it is really just preference. Like I said, you have way more CC on defense on this weapon set, and it also feels, in my opinion, much more fun to play. But if you want to really have the boons, the optimization with the vulnerability, I would say probably the other way to go. It also has to be said that the Hammer variant of this build has way more skills to use, which can be a positive because you like to press buttons. But if you want to have an easy to play build, the Warhorn variant is probably a little bit easier because you have nothing to really learn more than the classical Mace gameplay, just 2 more skills. Very important, if you have this gear setup, you will reach 60% crit chance. If you don't have the precise infusions, you will be 1 or 2% off, which is fine, but it will not be optimal because we are running Relic of Sakiros. Sakiros gives you 4% base lifesteal while you're under the effects of Fury, and you crit with the attack. So you want to be 100% under the effects of Fury. This build can achieve that with the boon duration, and you want to permanently crit. Therefore, 60% is the benchmark that you want to reach with the crit chance, because Fury on this build gives you 40% crit chance. So every single attack you do when you don't have weakness will heal you by 4%. For food and consumables, utility consumables, you want to go with Potent Superior Sharpening Stones for sure, just to get more power, and Plates of Kokomon with Salsa. That's just the best option because it gives you more precision. You need that to cap, and 66% chance to steal life on critical hit is also really, really good because you crit permanently. So you have that permanent on internal cooldown, and it gives you even more lifesteal. If you don't want to roleplay as the lifestealing ranger and want to optimize a bit more, probably the minus 10% damage reduction food is the best option, because you get more damage reduction. Just straight up is better, because most of the time the lifesteal is not necessary. You have so much, we'll get to that why in a second. But I think for the most lifestealing build, you should go with this. For pets, I would go with Juvenile Jungle Stalker and the Jacaranda. Reason for that is the Jacaranda gives you some nice vulnerability, also some nice soft CC, and some Condi Cleanse. This is quite nice because you don't have that much Condi Cleanse otherwise, and some nice passive healing. On the other pet, you mostly use this one for the Mighty Roar, which gives you a lot of might, so to easily cap out of might. If you want to optimize a little bit in a different direction to make it you even more tanky, you can drop the might by dropping the Juvenile Jungle Stalker for the Siege Turtle. The Siege Turtle gives you a lot of defense with the projectile block and a lot of CC, so this is the more aggressive variant. The Siege Turtle would be the defensive one. Now to traits. So for traits, you want to run Skirmishing, Wilderness Survival, and Untamed. So Skirmishing gives you Swiftness when you weapon swap, Fury when you weapon swap, and just baseline more crit chance and damage increase. Really good. Should try to strike your foes when they are not defiant from the side or behind, but most of the time when you find a champion or something, they are defiant and you will get the buff permanently. So very good. Then when you successfully evade an attack, gain vigor. Really long lasting vigor with the boon duration. Really good. So always try to dodge, because the next trait will also give you might. So if you dodge an attack, you will get vigor and might, and you can easily stack up your might further. And you get more power. Really good. Then, really important here, if crit chance increased by Fury is increased to 40%, and you get more ferocity. It's really strong, so you get a lot of baseline stats, as well as Fury when you are below the whole health threshold, and you can easily upkeep 100% Fury just by using this trait in conjunction with the weapon swap one. Then, Wilderness Survival, you get some more endurance passively. You get protection when you dodge, really nice as well. And your protection heals you, really strong. Then passive damage reduction while you have regen, almost 100% uptime with this when you are inflicted with bleeding, poison or burning, so really good. Then you get more damage and you deal more damage depending on... You get less damage and you deal more damage when you have this trait while you're with the health threshold. It's really nice, just a flat helpful stat increase. And then, really important here, Carnivore. Steal health from enemies when you or your pet disable them. It has a quarter of a second ICD, but whenever you disable a foe, you have a lot of CCs, you will deal more damage, and more importantly, you heal for 3k. That's immense, and you have a lot of CCs in your kit. So when you look at the CCs, you have Exploding Spores just around you, really good. You have or Lightning or Storm Spirit. You have the Daze from Call of the Wild. You have the Oaken Cudgel. And you also have the Daze here on Wild Strikes. So you have so many Dazes, and all of them, or not Dazes, CCs, and all of them will steal over 3k life. That's immense. It's insane. And then you have in Untamed, you get access to your Unleash pet or Unleash yourself. Really good. Just the Ambush skill might also help a lot. Here, just some nice healing baked into the kit and just more damage. Yeah, baseline really good. And then you get more vitality and some lifestealing, like I said, on the ambush skills. And depending on if you are unleashed or the pet is unleashed, you deal more damage, really good. Or get less damage. And then Venomous Outburst, which is your F1 on the pet, will also inflict blind. It's not that crazy, but your unleash ambush skills deal 25% more damage. It's really good. Then disabling a foe grants you boosts based on your current state. Really good. 1 second ICD, but when you count all your CCs in there, you have so much access to stability or quickness, whatever you are currently in. Really good. So easy to get access to those really important boons. Really good. And then lastly, you get even more lifesteal. When you or your pet unleash, gain protection. Really nice, more protection. And convert a pet a percentage of your strike damage into healing for a short duration. So whenever you would use this trait, every 10 seconds you should do that, you get 4 seconds of healing conversion. In conjunction with the Carnivore lifesteal and the Zacchaeus lifesteal, you have so much lifesteal that you heal so fast. If you don't get one shot, you can heal up in a second. It's really, really good. But all of this is always only if you deal damage, so be aware of that. And that's also important to note, that you don't want to get one shot. That's why you have Commander's gear, to get more toughness and don't get that easily one shot. Conjunction with protection, it should not be able to one shot you, so you can easily deal with all the champions that you want to face. So now to the skills. So for healing skill, best option is heal as 1, just the most healing and some nice boons that you can get when the pet has the boons as well. Then a stun break here on Quicken and Zephyr, super speed, quickness, really good. Over 50% uptime on quickness, really, really good. Then, like I said, CC here, some nice might and protection as well. Try to use it in the state that you need. So if you need more might in the might state, and if you need more protection in the protection one, then use that off cooldown because it gives you fury, vulnerability on the enemy, and also some nice carnivore procs. Then lastly, this one is you should use when you need stability, when you need resistance. It's really, really good. It gives you just a flat 50% damage reduction. It's insane. And you can recharge time is reduced when you hit enemies while you have it up and while you use it. So always try to use your multi-hit skills and stuff to increase the cooldown of this ability. It's really, really good. And stability, of course, 18 seconds of stability is insane. So really strong. For weapons, you have maces. If you spam your mace skills, they will reset after some time because of the force of nature trait. Yeah, the skills. This one removes conditions. Really important. If you have conditions, use this. Also gives you barrier and a short amount of stability. This is a daze, like I said, and a blast finisher. This is a blast finisher, not a blast finisher, but a daze as well. So another proc of this really important trait. It deals a lot of damage. You deal damage in front of you. You will cast this, so be aware. The last hit is the daze, so try to cast it until the end. Then you have a nice healing skill here that also does some nice damage, and always try to finish your cast here because it will also give you vigor. Then on the offhand, you have the nice vulnerability application here, really good. Doesn't last very long, but it's a strong one. Use it off cooldown, and then you have this one, it's a blast finish, it's a daze, gives you a lot of wounds. Really good, use it off cooldown as well. Try to pair your dazes not too close together so that you don't use the ICD, but most of the time that won't happen because you have a cast time anyway, just that you know. Like I said, this is a nice blind and some vulnerability, or spam it off cooldown as well. This one gives a boon removal, really strong, it's a blast finish as well, and slow, so a soft CC, does some damage. Use it when necessary. And this is a nice protective bubble that also blocks projectiles and is some nice damage and chill, and it's poison field, really good. When you unleash yourself, you can get the nice damaging skill, always use that, and your pet skills. Like I said, use the Mighty Roar for might, and when the pet is about to die, swap to the other pet to get access of the healing and the Condi cleanses, or of course swap back to get more might. Like I said, the most defensive option would be the Siege Turtle. It gives you more defensive skills. Use it when you need the protection or the bubble, or even more CC. For the gameplay, you should always, when you need heal, you should use your CCs first, and of course try to deal damage because that will heal you. If you need the panic button, you can use the Unleash skill to swap into, so that you get the proc that you 33% of your damage that you deal will heal you, so you will be instantly back at full health. So it's really, really good. Always try to cast your Quickening Sapphire for the quickness if you don't need the stun break. And yeah, like I said, use Forest's Fortification, so you're elite when you need the stability and resistance. Really, really good build, really fun to play, really heavy damage. You are mostly melee, so if you need a lot of ranged options, this is not the build for you. But if you want to go melee and have fun and just engage the enemy, have a lot of life stealing, this build is for you. If you want to see my takes on all the open builds and which are currently the best for all the elite specs out there, be sure to check out this tier list. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.